What's up, guys? For today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Extra Mook here, which is a special edition all about dinosaur model kits. I really cannot wait to take a look at this one, as you guys may have seen in the recent Gunpla delivery video where I got this. This has, like I said, all about dinosaur model kits in here, which we will see. Most of them are actually quite recent releases as well. It seems to be kind of I was gonna say recent years, but in the recent year in particular, a very nice influx in some new dinosaur model kits coming out, which is really cool to see as of course, a dinosaur fan, a 90s kid growing up in the 90s, you know, when we were going through the big dinosaur craze. I loved dinosaurs when I was little, so now that I'm an adult and I love making model kits, you know, the combination of the two is certainly very interesting for me. So let's go ahead and get into it here for today's video. So if you guys are unfamiliar with Extra, this is from Hobby Japan, separate from their monthly publications. This is Extra, hence the name, and that's why these come out. I believe it's either twice or 3 or 4 times a year. Anyway, not every month, certainly. They only come out a few times a year, and they're usually about one particular subject matter. In this case, obviously, like I said, about dinosaur model kits. This is volume 30, and we can see the MSRP over here is 1,400 yen plus tax, so about like $12, maybe something like that. Not too bad. This doesn't have like the full spine, so it's not going to be as like thick as a lot of the typical Mooks that we usually take a look at, but there is still a good amount of stuff in here. Right off the bat, here's this Brachiosaurus model kit, which I have taken a look at before. Here's mine, which you can see is all primed up, ready for paint. I just need to get some paint on it. So got mine sitting right here. Fantastic, very cool kit there from Tamiya in their dinosaur model kit line. I think this is probably the most popular one. Number one for good reason, just because it's huge, which is very cool, but it's just a really nice model kit there of the Brachiosaurus. I think in terms of their different model kits that they make, I think it's the best looking representation. And after having built it myself, I will say very nice job here modeling on this one, removing the seam lines, because that was certainly a very challenging part of that build. Well, let's go ahead and get into it here and see what we've got for this. Well, let's just take a quick peek at the back cover, where we've got an advertisement here for X-Plus models. So I've talked a lot about X-Plus recently. Here you can see their Dracula model kit, 1/8 scale, the 1/8 scale Vampirella kit. This is the version of this kit which glows in the dark, which looks very cool. They've also got a 1/35 scale Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3 coming out, and then you can see some other ones coming soon here. Revenge of the Creature is coming soon, as well as looks like Frankenstein model, and also a blue and beta set there coming from Jurassic World as well. Their Tyrannosaurus model kit just released, which we'll see in here. Okay, this I think is for a different Mook available from Hobby Japan, all about dinosaur modeling there. So I'll have to take a look for that. That looks quite nice, with a lot of sculpting in particular, which there's a really good channel. I'm going to try to think of the name. Kayakasaurus, that's what it is. Check out Kayakasaurus on YouTube. Makes some amazing dinosaur modeling videos, anyway, here on YouTube. Check that out. Okay, so here we have the Spinosaurus. This is the X-Plus model kit, which is coming out. You know, Spinosaurus, very polarizing on its appearance in Jurassic Park 3. A lot of people liked it, didn't like it. They didn't like the fact that it killed the T-Rex. But, I mean, it's a pretty good looking model, I have to say. Here coming out from X-Plus, and this like fully painted one here looks really nice. And then we've got the Jurassic Park model kit. This is the T-Rex breaking out there with Ian Malcolm with the flare. This is the model kit which just recently was released there in Japan. Really nice modeling and painting on this. I have to wonder if it looks like kind of everything has this kind of nice gloss to it, which I have to imagine is probably because of the fact that the scene happens in the rain. So they wanted to make the model look a little bit more glossy, just to kind of recreate that image from the movie, with everything being wet, of course, because it's happening in the rain. Either that, or maybe you just wanted to go for a gloss finish. But here we got some work in progress on it, which is very cool to see, where you can see just the base model kit there, which is all just molded in tan. You can see just kind of some work in progress modeling, building that, and then the actual painting process. So what's used for going through the painting, different kind of, not weathering techniques, but just painting techniques there to give it the realistic look. And then painting the Jurassic Park logo there on the front as well. It looks like that's just all hand painted. So very cool to see that. Up next, special feature, Dinosaur World here. This is using the Artpla model kits. So you can see there's these Tyrannosaur model kits, adult, feathered, and juvenile. And this is kind of cool to see here as well. We got kind of a timeline showing some of the model kits featured in here, and also real life skeletons is what that looks like there. But these are, is that a, oh, yeah, that is a real life skeleton. Yeah, it's about a museum there in Japan, I guess it looks like. But anyway, a timeline just kind of showing some of the stuff in here, just in order of like actual when the creatures were alive anyway. So here obviously we have a Bandai's imaginary skeleton Tyrannosaurus here with the jumping skeleton. Really cool model featuring some of these character figures in here I know are from the Art Plus sets, but like this one over here, I believe that was from the Hasegawa set. So I believe so. So it's kind of a mixture. The character figures are a mixture of different figures from different sets, but it looks really cool here for this museum setting. A really nice way to display that kit because it comes with a base. It's like kind of a realistic, like kind of like jungle floor kind of base for the skeleton. But being a skeleton, putting it here in this museum setting does look very, very cool. I gotta say, nice work here on the floor and everything. Just kind of modeling that. It's a really nice way to display that model. It's a fantastic looking model. The imaginary skeleton line is really, really nice there from Bandai, if you're a fan of dinosaur skeleton models. And then here, like I said, we're back to the Art Pla kits. So these are from Kyoto. And I'm all for seeing a feathered Tyrannosaurus. I will say the model kit looks a bit weird with the feathers on the head and then like all this kind of fuzz all around on the T-Rex. I could get what they were going for, making a kind of a theoretical model of the Tyrannosaurus, like a feathered version. It looks a bit kind of a little bit goofy there with the amount of fuzz and everything on that. But this is another really cool, interesting way to display it, basically just on this like piece of driftwood. Essentially, this is something I was seeing actually just in a different model kit on Twitter, actually just yesterday, and I was thinking, yeah, that would be really cool. I should look for some pieces of driftwood to use in like vignettes, dioramas for some different model kits. But it's pretty interesting how he kind of has everything set up on here. Just a different, unique way to display model kits, especially for model kits like this. I feel like it definitely makes sense. So here we've got Column Volume 1 about the Tyrannosaurus with some kind of CG renders over here. So it looks like this is going to be sort of more now, well, at least this section right here, just kind of about the Tyrannosaurus, I guess. Because up next here, we're back to model kits. This is a Triceratops. This is once again the imaginary skeleton Triceratops model kit. Kind of hard to see, but it is in there. This is another really, really interesting and cool way to display this kit. Have it in like a dig site, and you have some workers here working on it, and you have the model mostly kind of submerged in here as if it's being excavated. In very good condition, I will say. If you guys have ever seen like dig sites where, you know, dinosaur skeletons are actually being unearthed, they don't look that good coming straight out of the ground. So, I mean, a little bit unrealistic on that end, but it is really, really cool just as a way to display the kit. Very interesting. I've seen another one. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be included in here. Not that I saw. But another build, if I can remember who it was that did it, if I can find pictures, I'll try to put them on screen for you guys now, of another modeler that took the Tyrannosaurus skeleton and built it into like a relief. Kind of was really, really cool. Anyway, here's a view from above there of the Triceratops model kit, and then once again a little bit here just kind of about the Triceratops. So nice that they're including some just kind of informational aspects in here as well. So here's a feature, once again back to the Bandai Spirits Tyrannosaurus imaginary skeleton model. Like I said, it's a really cool kit. I've of course reviewed that. They have the Triceratops, and then the Mosasaurus is the new one. So the Mosasaurus imaginary skeleton, I'm really looking forward to checking that one out as well. I believe that's out, or when does that come out? I believe it has released, but I've not gotten mine yet, so hopefully I will soon. So this is the 1/35th scale Brachiosaurus model kit. It comes with a juvenile as well as a tiny little 1/35th scale Archaeopteryx in the set as well. It looks like in this set he also has some velociraptors and a small Parasaurolophus in there. Those are from different Tamiya sets, but if you get the Brachiosaurus, it does come with the juvenile Brachiosaurus and one of these little flying Archaeopteryx, which you can see right there. So I think the Velociraptor set is a 6 set, and the Parasaurolophus I think was included maybe with the... which set was that included with? It was a different one, but anyway. Really cool diorama here of this set. Looks really nice with a lot kind of going on there. The foliage and the trees, everything does look really nice as well. The Brachiosaurus itself, really nicely painted with some like really subtle kind of coloration on it. It's got mostly this kind of blue, grayish, green kind of color, but really nice coloring on that. That's been kind of one of the reasons why I haven't painted mine yet, is I haven't decided on a color scheme. So certainly looking through this will give me help to give me some ideas that hopefully will give me some inspiration to finish working on mine. The tree looks really nice in there as well. Kind of also helps to give it a nice good sense of scale, just how large the model kit is and how large the actual Brachiosaurus was as well. So here we have some more information about those two dinosaurs, Velociraptor and Brachiosaurus. Brachiosaurus here in the render looking very strange here. All right, this is another model kit from Tamiya. So this is another one of the Tamiya 1/35 scale ones. Tamiya's Tyrannosaurus here, not looking quite as good or as realistic as some of the other ones that we've seen in here so far from ArtPla and X-Plus, based on the Jurassic Park model. But this one is just, you know, a different representation of the Tyrannosaurus here. And it looks like that's all we're really going to see about that. We are going to see some more. It looks like this is all kind of all about the Tamiya model kits. So here we have about the Triceratops. There is another one of the sets. Oh yeah, one of the sets, I think it's like the Mesozoic set where it has a few different creatures in there. I think like a juvenile Carnotaurus, but a couple other different juvenile young dinosaurs in there. They also have a series of model kits that are like based on old interpretations of the dinosaur designs of the Tyrannosaurus, Stegosaurus, and Triceratops up there, which are kind of cool if you like that kind of retro design for the dinosaurs, kind of now defunct designs. But here we have a couple of the Velociraptor from the pack of 6 Velociraptors kit there. So just basically gluing them together and then just doing some simple painting on them, just some painting with some thin down paint, and then just kind of using some solvent to basically just kind of work the paint into different areas to make it look like a more kind of camo pattern on it, and that's it. So really super simple. In 30 minutes, it says. In 30 minutes, you can make it look like that. Yeah, very nice. All right, so this section is about a museum report. I'm not sure where this museum is in Japan, but this says Museum Report 1, so it might be the first of maybe multiple museums that we might see. But a cool dinosaur museum. I've been to a really cool dinosaur museum in Korea. I know that there's a few of them in Japan. I would imagine there's a few as well, but it's certainly something that's popular over there. So here's some really nice photos of some of the different things you can see there at the museum. The restaurant there at the museum looks really nice as well, I will say. And then here's a little bit about the Bandai Spirit's Planosaurus Velociraptor model kit that you can get. That's like an exclusive kit that they give away, I believe, at different events and things like that. And it's clear on the outside for the Planosaurus series, which we'll see some more about here in just a moment. I imagine it'll be coming up in just a second. But the Planosaurus line, if you guys don't know, kind of similar to imaginary skeleton, where it's got the skeleton inside, and it's articulated, and it also has parts that go around on the outside. This is kind of cool too, a map of different dinosaur museums in Japan. So if you guys can't tell the image in the background, it's kind of a blocky version of the country of Japan, separated into prefecture. And so it's broken down for like, these are where the different museums are in different prefectures in Japan. So that's pretty cool. Nice reference. So here's a museum report too, a different museum. This one looks like it's more about like Precambrian life there, sea life in the early days of life on Earth, right? And here's some more of the other different later dinosaurs. Looks like maybe an Allosaurus or something here, and some other cool stuff there from the museum. Okay, so this is the Planosaurus line from Bandai that I was just speaking about. This is their most recent release in the line, the Mosasaurus, and this one's modeled by none other than Umi Shinonome-san. Some of you may have seen this already online if you're following her on Twitter or anything. But this is really cool how this is made, built into this clear block of resin to look like it's underwater, but it's cool. The model is like halfway coming out. It really is some nice kind of three-dimensional space there with the rocks kind of built around the outside, and you just have just this block of water with some nice texture up there at the top, but with the Mosasaurus like half coming out. It's really, really interesting to see kind of how this was done. Oh, okay, I get how it was done, right? It's basically what you might expect, but essentially built a case and had it laying down that way, and so that once it's filled up, you just don't fill it up all the way, so that the top of the model is still sticking out the top. And then to make the wave pattern on the top, she just basically had to do that by hand, just with a grinder and then going in with some like water effects on the top to make it look wavy on the top, which was actually the side of the mold when it was actually poured. You can see that she also removed some of the gaps in the original model kit. I think if we look here on the next page, it's a little bit about like just modeling for beginners. That's what this is. So there's some simple techniques that you can do to add, basically using the Gundam markers, real touch markers, to add some definition on the skeleton, and then also add some definition, sort of like panel lining essentially, here on the outside of the model kit there as well, and using some paints to add some details onto that. So just some basic beginner techniques that you can do to make the model kit look better. What Umi-san did was to also fill in the gaps on there where it's meant to be articulated, so she just made it so that it's not articulated. Filled in the gaps with epoxy putty there, but then the trouble is what you have to do is then try to, where you filled in the gaps, you have to make it textured like the skin texture of the creature, which is difficult to do. I'll tell you, like I was mentioning before, doing on the Brachiosaurus model kit, recreating the skin texture where you've tried to fill in seam lines is difficult. So, you know, I understand her pain on that anyway. So up next here is another Planosaurus. This is the Planosaurus Tyrannosaurus Rex, which was the first release out in the line. We did take a look at that in a review. Very cool kits, definitely great for kids especially. And here's some more about that. So the Spinosaurus is another recent release in the line, and the Mosasaurus. Actually, the Spinosaurus is the most recent one, I guess. I was thinking the Mosasaurus was the most recent. The Spinosaurus is out in July, so that one also just recently came out. So they have that, those two, the Triceratops and the T-Rex. So here's a little bit about those, and the Stegosaurus and Ankylosaurus. Right. Yeah, so if you guys are interested in those, and then like I said, the Velociraptor as well is like an event exclusive kind of kit, which is pretty cool. So yeah, interesting model kits, definitely great for kids too. And then we have the Wave 1/35 scale Futabasaurus, a really cool plesiosaur model kit. This is another one that I have built and primed, but I've not painted it yet, so I will show that to you guys soon. But this one's really nice as well. It's 1/35 scale, so it's the same scale as the Brachiosaurus, but it's much smaller. It's only like this big, but a really cool kit and a really cool diorama here, build of this with it kind of also, once again, coming out of the water, sort of splashing up out of the water. We have some nice work in progress over here to kind of see how this was constructed as well. Building the kind of, again, the frame of that before pouring in all the clear resin to make the water for it. So it's a cool little kit, definitely. So I'll look forward to finishing that and sharing that with you guys. Got another information section here about Mosasaurus, Spinosaurus, about the dinosaurs. Well, not dinosaur in the case of Mosasaurus, but, and then Museum Report 3. So another different museum here. This is the American Museum of Natural History, right? This would be in New York. I've never been here, but have been to the Field Museum in Chicago. Is also a really great one. If you guys are in the Midwest and dinosaur fans, you want to see some nice dinosaur skeletons, Field Museum there in Chicago is pretty awesome as well. Then we also have Museum Report 4 here. This is another really cool one. Looks like they have a lot of like the, again, kind of older retro designs here. Some of the dinosaurs, the Iguanodon in particular is one that's certainly been through quite a journey. These are, I don't know what these are, small, they look like toys. So I think these are just like different Jurassic Park toys. They look like all kind of Jurassic Park related or something anyway, some of them. Here's once again that same plesiosaur model kit of the Futabasaurus, which we saw before, built into some kind of like aquarium, which is kind of interesting. So we got some more work in progress on that. Work in progress on the aquarium itself, building that out. So that's a kind of cool thing to include in there. And if you have like fish or whatever, yeah, it comes with a couple, it looks like he made 2 of them, but it comes with different parts there for the neck, whether you want to have the neck going like that or the neck going like that. So that's really nice. And so this is, I guess, was featured in this other different magazine series, Aqua Life. So I'm not familiar with that because, you know, it's not something that I'm particularly interested in, but it looks like that was featured in an issue of Aqua Life. If you guys are into aquariums and Japanese publications, you can check that out. Here we've got the, of course, famous Jurassic Park scene here with the dinosaur. And I think this is talking a little bit about like dinosaurs in cinema. So another interesting topic. There's plenty of really great videos on YouTube that you can see talking about dinosaurs in cinema, but you got like Jurassic Park, Rex, 1 million years BC, another classic one, The Lost World, and let's see, Jurassic Park 3, and then also dinosaurs in books, something I'm much less familiar about. I mean, obviously, aside from Jurassic Park, I don't really. And Raptor Red, another classic one I read when I was younger, in my younger years. But otherwise, I'm not too familiar with like too many like good books that like are either like fiction stories about that include dinosaurs in the story anyway, kind of thing. All right, next Hobby Japan Extra looks like is going to be Digimon there, Digimon model kits, and you can see some other like kind of kaiju stuff in there, I guess, so maybe kind of a mix, Digimon and kaiju, other sort of fantasy model kits, stuff like that. Here's like kind of a little preview here of some of the stuff we saw in there. Another X-Plus model kit there of Gamera. Got the Blue Eyes White Dragon model kit, and then like I said, some other different small scale model kits. I think these are also either from Artpla. I believe those are Artpla. And I think that's going to be about it. Really nice picture here at the end of that photograph of the Brachiosaurus model kit with some really nice lighting. Maybe took it outside and got some really nice clouds in the background or everything. That looks really cool. And then a really cool photograph over here of that Gamera model kit as well. Really, really nice. So all interesting stuff. That is going to be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed taking a look at some very different model kits from what we typically look at here on the channel. No Gunpla, no Mecha Musume, no Mecha in there at all, actually. But it would be kind of cool to see if, you know, I'm sure there's modelers out there that take model kits like this and then like add some mechanical parts and stuff onto there, do some like interesting kit bashing. I'm sure if you guys know of any, you know, send me some links or, you know, private message me some photos or something like that if you've seen anything or built anything yourself. Really cool like that. But what do you guys think about dinosaur model kits? Are you interested in them? Have you built any? Have you enjoyed some of the recent releases that have been featured in this book especially? And of course, if you guys are looking forward to seeing me working on some more of my dinosaur model kits, like I said, I have a couple right now that are ready for paint. I have a couple that are ready to be built. So all stuff that I'm looking forward to working on more. And if you guys are looking forward to that as well, let me know, so that I know it's something that you guys are, you know, looking forward to seeing sooner than later. That's gonna be it for this video, guys. As always, thank you so much for all of your support. Check out the link in the video description to USA Gundam Store. We've got all sorts of different cool model kits there for you guys to check out, as well as paints, tools, and supplies. Until next time, hope you guys are all having a great day. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.